Hey guys, Creator Mom. So we've been getting a lot of thunderstorms lately, like, yesterday and today. But now it's beautiful because it thundered, and doesn't it look pretty? The sun is out and it'll probably rain some more. But it was crazy because yesterday we got stuck in a hailstorm. It was actually quite insane. I was never in like a hail storm before, and I was driving, and it was, you know, I was driving more like on a little 2 lane, like a little highway-ish road, like 2 lanes each side. And it started to rain, and it wasn't that bad. It was fine. Then all of a sudden, it started to downpour, right? Which is okay, like fine. It's just downpouring rain, and it's hard to see, but I can still see somewhat. Then all of a sudden, boom, 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 it starts hailing, and I cannot see anything in front of me. And I'm like, oh my God. And thank God I was at the perfect place on the road to be stuck in the situation where I couldn't see, because I was like right at the light. So I just didn't move. I just stayed at the light because literally there was no way that I could move. I could not see anything in front of me, nothing at all. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, is there like a tornado somewhere that like, just sprung up on us out of nowhere? Like, I thought maybe we were, like there was a tornado passing somewhere in the distance and we're catching like the hail and the winds from it. And that never happened to me before, where I just couldn't see anything. Like, I've been in limited visibility with heavy rains. I hate that. Like on the highway and trucks are splashing you with water, but never to where like I literally could not see a damn thing. So, yeah, thankfully I was able to be in a spot where I could stay right there. And then I'd say it didn't last more than like 2-3 minutes or something. It felt long while we were sitting there, but then finally we could see again, and it was still raining, but we were able to proceed. It was scary because it's just like, accidents, things like that. Like, I was glad that I wasn't way back down on the road where it was more like a highway, because I'm like, oh my God, like where the hell would I stop or pull off? Anyways, I also wanted to mention, I was watching this movie yesterday. It's like a horror thriller movie called Imaginary. And anyways, that's not really what I want to talk about in reference to the movie. But basically it's about this father who moves out to this house with his like girlfriend and his 2 daughters. And it's the girlfriend's like dad's house. The dad had to go into like some type of nursing home or rest home, and so they thought it'd be a great idea to move into this house, right? And the little girl used to live, the stepmother used to live in this house when she was little, but had to leave when she was around like 5 years old, so she doesn't like remember that much from living there. Well, anyways, what happens is like the stepmother is like really like concerned of like being a good stepmom and getting along with the little girl who's like 7 or 8 years old, and there's a teenager too. But the funny part in this movie was like the stepmother was like, I think the little girl was like, do you want to play hide and seek or something like that? And or I forget if she mentioned it first or the little girl mentioned it first, but either way they were playing hide and seek, and the stepmother was supposed to be looking for the little girl, and the little girl was hiding. So the stepmother is walking around looking for her, calling her name, and like, where are you? And then all of a sudden, the stepmother gets a phone call. Look, this thing is coming out. This doesn't look normal. I think the pipe is disconnected. It should be. I don't know. I feel like that should be flowing out into the pipe, but it's clearly broken. Anyways, I already put in a maintenance request for that. I don't think that's the way that's supposed to be. So anyhow, what I thought was interesting was that she gets a phone call, and she walks out of the house to go to the front, out the front yard to take this phone call. And I'm like, you just left this little girl in the house and she's hiding and she's waiting for you to find her. Like, that is so, it was just so weird. It was like she was so concerned about being this good stepmother, this good mother to the girls. But I think that, I don't know, I think that it's what she envisioned or wants just so that they can get along. But it was just such a strange scene to me. It was very like, it showed like a level of like disconnectedness, you know? Like she got this phone call and she just didn't even acknowledge that she was playing hide and go seek with this little girl. Although at the end, then she comes back in and is like, oh, okay, like, am I supposed to hide now? It's just like, she, you know, I think she did say, oh, sorry, like, I got a work call, but it's like, bro, you just, like, I was like, why didn't they make the movie with the stepmother saying, calling out her name and saying, hey, I gotta take this phone call real quick. You can come out of your hiding spot. Like, I gotta take this phone call, okay? You know, it's just like nothing. It was funny because during that scene where she just left her like that, left her hanging, the little girl starts being called by this demon or whatever the hell this horror creature is, this imaginary friend. And it calls her during the time where the stepmother's outside the house on this work phone call. It's calling to the little girl, and she goes down into the basement and, you know, meets this imaginary friend. I have to watch the rest of the movie today. I went like halfway, a little more than halfway, but then I stopped because I was like, you know what? I'm really not in the fear vibe right now. Excuse me. So I'm going to finish the end. But like, I just thought that scene was so freaking peculiar. Like, you're playing hide and seek. You left that little girl hiding in the spot. Like, you didn't even say, hey, I got to step outside. Nothing, bro. And it's in that very moment that little girl gets into trouble with finding this imaginary friend who's like very like dark presence. Obviously, it's a thriller horror movie. Anyways, yeah. All right, well, that's all I wanted to share. Have a great rest of your day.